special thank you to our great sponsors: Jack Burford Chevrolet, State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble,
Luxury Pets,
Express Roofing, we've got you covered, Faith Created, Assembly of God Church, ScenicCabin.com, Equipment, Sales and Rentals, give Sean a call, Tatum Enterprises, Richmond Tourism, WKYT.com, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, First Gear, Pro Signs, Berea Online, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
This program is sponsored by Cumberland Valley National Bank and Trust. Visit their new location in Berea.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County Schools Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube.
Welcome to the Coach Mark Center Show. Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. We want you to watch the Coach Mark Center Show.
We look forward to seeing you on Madison County School Sports Television.
This program is sponsored by Cumberland Valley National Bank and Trust. Visit their new location in Berea.
Oh, there you go. You got time. Go right.
Welcome back to the Coach Mark Center Show. I'm Samantha Burford, here today with Coach Mark Centers. He's the head coach of the Madison Central Indians, and we're going to talk a little bit about football. Big time football. All right, so let's talk about last Friday night's game
Okay.
against Scott County.
Very strong opponent. Scott County's an outstanding football team.
They definitely are.
Very worthy of their high ranking in the state, and looks like that they just continue to roll on and get stronger. We've actually had the Friday night games versus Scott County's programs, and then freshman and JV against Scott County on Monday night. So a lot of competition the last few days.
Yeah, they're on like a winning streak. I mean, definitely ranked first in the state, and I think the paper said they had won 17 games in a row or something like that. So very, very tough competition. What about the first quarter? You started out a little slow.
Well, they probably got out of the gate a little bit slow from an offense standpoint. They definitely jumped on us the way that they opened the game well. The first drive was able to march down the field and take advantage of really just that's what a veteran team does, is come out of the gates hot. They executed very well, marched down the field and scored on us on 3 plays, kind of got us rocked back on our heels a little bit. But after that, I think we responded fairly well and fought back toe-to-toe.
You had to be really happy about the second quarter. I mean, you guys came alive.
Yeah, and I guess they're late in the first quarter kind of set that up, but definitely took advantage of our time of possession advantage. It's the last 2 weeks in a row we've had a decided time of possession advantage over our opponents, and ran about twice as many plays. When moving the ball well offensively, we got to finish some drives and do some things like that, and we did. We're able to do that in the second quarter and put 17 on the board in the second quarter. And overall, for the night, been our one of our, well, I guess our biggest offensive output of the season from a yardage standpoint, and first downs. I think we beat them in first downs and things like that. So from an offensive standpoint, we got some things going. Obviously still got some improvements to make. We need to finish some drives and finish some possessions off a little bit better, but definitely good to move the ball up and down the field against a top-ranked defense the way we did.
Yeah. So you have to be happy because, I mean, they seem like they, offensively and defensively. I mean, granted, you were playing the ranked #1 team, Scott County. The final score of the game was 60-24. What did you say to them during halftime?
Well, we felt like that we had made a pretty nice run back at them there at the half. We felt like we had closed the gap. We obviously knew that we had put ourselves in position to be behind and to have to be fighting back, but we felt like that we were doing just that. So we tried to be as positive as we can with the kids and made a few adjustments there at the half that we tried to put into effect. Really was big them deciding to take the football. Right out of the gate, they wanted the football, so we knew we were going to get a chance to get the football back in the third quarter first. And really wish we could have capitalized on having that football first and punched one in the end zone.
Yeah.
I think that would have definitely changed the matters a little bit as far as the second half took off. But, again, we continued to execute offensively well, and some of the things that they were able to get against our defense, we missed some tackles and missed some assignments, and it cost us a little bit. But overall, never pleased with a loss. Never.
Yeah.
It's one of those things we've got to continue to get better. Week after week, we do continue to get better, and we've said all along we've never lied to the kids, never lied to the community or anyone else that this is a process. It's a slow process, but I do believe that our kids are getting better each week. I think that we showed that we improved dramatically in the week after the Madison Southern game leading up to the Scott County game. So,
I think that's been the conversation that everyone's having in our community is that they see improvement game to game.
I hope so, and most importantly, I hope our kids are seeing improvement game to game and day to day in practice. And I feel like we've had a pretty good week of practice this week, and trying to get better. And that's what we tell them. We have to get a little bit better each and every day, and at the end of the season, we'll be a lot better than where we started. And it's a slow process.
Scott County's their quarterback, coach's son.
Clay. Yeah.
He was really good.
Yeah, Clay
He put
does
a lot of numbers on the board.
He does a nice job, and Clay's not flashy. He's not, he's not one of these quarterbacks that perhaps is going to be a major Division I recruit. He's a strong kid and a very smart kid, and I mean, heck, he's run that offense since he was 7 years old, so he knows exactly what to do.
He knows the plays, doesn't he?
He does. He knows exactly how to run it. He's an extension of his father on the field, and is able to make adjustments on the fly and do some things very well. But also just when your quarterback is that type of leader, which you can tell he is a very true leader, then it's very easy for the offense to execute. The offense runs smoother through a quarterback that has that type of skill. And again, where he's got some natural leadership ability. Seems like a very fine young man, and certainly that in itself lends to their success. They've been established for a long time. From their weight program being established for a long time. I guess Coach McKee's been there 15, 16 years now. From the establishment of their weight program to the establishment of their running the offense that the high school runs in the youth leagues and the middle schools and all the way up to the high school. And a lot of pieces in place. Those kids are very experienced in what they're doing.
Tell us your thoughts on our quarterback. Let's switch teams, go back to our team. And Zach Harden, your thoughts on him?
I thought Zach played well. I mean, I really feel like that overall, probably his best performance overall so far. He stood in the pocket and took a couple of shots and still delivered the football and did a great job there. Made some good decisions throughout the night. I feel like our offensive line played a lot better. I definitely think our offensive line played a lot better than it did the previous week against Southern. But I think that we had played better in previous weeks than we did in week 3 against Southern. So, kind of not a very good measuring stick there. But I felt like that we played a lot better, a lot more cohesive as an offensive front, which certainly gave Zach more time and more confidence, hopefully, and executing the offense a little bit better. But he played well. He spread the ball around, delivered the ball well, threw a couple balls right on the spot, really did a nice job.
Let's talk a little bit about some of your other team players. I mean, John Williams had 6 catches for 83 yards.
John's really starting to, demonstrate his ability. He just how talented he is. He's probably our most polished receiver. We've got, we've got, as we mention each week, we've got a lot of guys that can make plays, but John has the real ability to excel, and he's a Friday night guy. He likes to when the lights are on. He wants to make the big play, and I really like that about him. The tough thing for John is a lot of people have been double covering him, and quite frankly, with some formations and stuff, we tried to keep Scott County from double covering him. They still double covered him some, which honestly is why he probably didn't have more catches than what he did. But in weeks previous, people had really went to great lengths to try to take him away. But at the same time, him going for 6 catches the other night, he's very capable of doing that on a weekly basis, and did a really good job there. Hopefully spreading the ball around to some of the other receivers, having guys like Keenan Miller and Lawrence Lee and Altamirano stepped up and made a few big plays the other night.
Yeah, I've got him for 3 catches and 51 yards.
He probably had his best night overall. Jared can catch the ball out of the H-back spots. Hopefully, a lot of guys, Coots, Bing, tons of guys that are catching footballs for us, and hopefully being able to spread the ball around to those other guys will encourage teams not to double cover John.
Right.
When
you talk about that every
threats.
week in our show, you talk about trying to get the ball to more than just one person, one receivers.
Right, and number one, I think it makes the team stronger. I think it makes it more fun for everybody if more people are touching the football, and certainly from a running game perspective as well as a passing game perspective, we're trying to do that and spread the ball around. But certainly, we feel like it makes it more difficult to defend us. And as we continue to execute better and have more kids continue to step up, hopefully it'll be a lot harder to defend us.
I've got Jared Grant. He had 4 catches for 35 yards.
Had a big one down the middle there late in the game. That was a big catch. He did a nice job, and he continues to improve. He's, again, a lot of these guys we're talking about, young kids, we're talking about sophomores and a couple of juniors and stuff making plays. And he had a nice catch down the middle. He continues to develop as a blocker. He's a real key cog in the blocking aspect of our game. And of course, he's playing a ton on defense at linebacker as well. So we're putting a lot on that young man.
How about Johan Williams? Do you ever find that it's difficult to both Williams? I mean, between John and Johan, are you calling them the wrong name all the time?
Yeah, we're pretty good about keeping them separate. their skill sets, Johan, of course, he's coming off a great year last year, and has been playing a ton of defense for us this year. He's been starting a lot at corner, and it's something that's kind of new for him. I think he played mainly offense in the past, but has done a real nice job at corner, and then it proves time and again when he gets opportunity to get the ball offensively. He's doing a lot better now. Kind of slow going for him at the first of the year, particularly on offense, as he had been hurt with a hamstring back in the summer, and it was something that he was nursing and trying to get better and trying to get back, and so he got a little bit late jump on conditioning. He got a little bit late jump on learning the plays, and so he's really just now kind of rounding into shape. So really excited about the future for him.
Right, and then we can't forget about Worthy McGuire. How fantastic was that 41-yard field goal?
Well, and he did a nice job of bouncing back after missing the one earlier from 35. He didn't let his confidence be shook. He stepped back in there.
And that's hard to do when you're young like that.
It is. It's a very difficult job, and as coaches, we've been kind of joking around a little bit on our staff because we're really blessed with our kicker situation.
He's a soccer player, right?
Yeah. Worthy.
So he's double teaming it.
Well, and Worthy's kind of a football player who plays soccer.
There you go.
Because he doesn't miss much of our stuff at all.
Right.
There's some times where he has to leave early for soccer or a certain preparation or thing like that, but he's been doing that. And then we've also got Landon White, who stepped up and has demonstrated the ability to kick. And anybody who's been there early enough to watch us warm up has seen that those two guys can really kick the football, both of them. Worthy is probably a little bit more consistent right now. That's why he's getting the opportunities that he is. But Landon hit a 40-plus yarder the other night in JV against GRC, and we're really impressed with both those kids. It's a shame because in some aspects, because they're both sophomores and they're both and honestly either one of them alone could be the best kicker that I can remember in being on our team in many years. Even going back to when we had Kent Blackburn and some of those kids in the early 2000s that played soccer and also kicked for us when I was an assistant at Central. But
I guess it's a good problem to have.
It's great, it really is, and I wish it was more like college where we could redshirt one of them and keep both of them happy. But both of those guys are doing a nice job, and we feel like we've got two really good weapons there. And again, to go back to your point with Worthy, that not being shook and coming back after missing one and knocking home that 41-yarder in a real key time because it cut the lead to 10 and gave us an opportunity to kind of climb back in the game. It's a great job.
Yeah, you're right. All right, Coach, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll talk about this coming Friday night's game, which I'm sure you'd rather talk about all that. You're deep into those transitions going into Friday night already, so we'll forget about last Friday night and keep moving forward.
Keep pushing forward.
That's right. We'll be right back right after this.
A special thank you to our great sponsors: Jack Burford Chevrolet, State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble,
Luxury Pets,
Express Roofing, we've got you covered, Faith Created Assembly of God Church, ScenicCabin.com, Equipment Sales and Rentals, give Sean a call, Tatum Enterprises, Richmond Tourism, WKYT.com, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, First Gear, Pro Signs, Berea Online, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burfer with Madison County School Sports Television. We want you to watch the Coach Mark Center Show.
We look forward to seeing you on Madison County School Sports Television.
This program is sponsored by Cumberland Valley National Bank and Trust. Visit their new location in Berea. Madison County School Sports is proud to have Journey Auto and Boat Sales as the official sponsor of the Madison Central Marching Band on MCS TV.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, the definition of binge drinking is having 5 drinks over the course of 2 hours. When done excessively, this may eventually lead to memory loss, unwanted pregnancy, and sexually transmitted diseases, cancer, excessive vomiting, alcohol poisoning, and possibly death.
Nathan, can you hear me?
If you don't want to swallow any of this, chances are the next tube you put in your mouth won't be a good time. For more information on binge drinking, please visit the Centers for Disease Control website at www.cdc.gov.
The following is in smokeless tobacco: cadmium, formaldehyde, lead, nicotine, nitrosamines, polonium-210, hydrazine, benzopyrene, and uranium-235. Don't be a dip. don't dip.
Oh, there you go. You got time. Go right.
Welcome back to the Coach Mark Center Show. I'm Samantha Burford here at the Jack Burford Chevrolet Coaches Studios. That's what we officially call it because they're very kind enough to let us kind of take over their customer service lounge and the customer service area. So
It's kind of adopted the place. It's good.
we have, and I've stuck my poster back there, and I think they hide it around the building, like, and let me pop up, "Where's Waldo?" and all that. So they have a good time with it. So we're very thankful that they are one of your sponsors, one of our sponsors. So we're very proud of that. So let's move right back into football, and you've got some injuries on your team that we can, bring up quickly.
Yeah, we got, of course, Cameron Presnell with the injury to his shoulder. He'd been battling the shoulder for a couple of weeks, and they've went to the doctor and they've decided to do surgery on him, so that's going to shut him down.
Yeah, I think that's this Friday, I believe, his shoulder surgery is.
They're going to shut him down. I think that will shut him down for the rest of the season. And of course, Will Hinton, he's been out all season with the knee, and he'd been a super valuable guy for us had we been able to get him on the field. And a couple of other guys banged up. Dante Mineral will likely miss this week with an ankle, and so just again some various other things. We've had a group of guys that have been out for the last couple of weeks.
I'm thinking Will Ulmer, he's back.
He's back, yeah, he's back
So that's
and
good.
playing well.
It's better to say when they're back,
That's
I
right.
guess, than leaving.
That's right.
than
yeah.
injured now.
Yep, he's back and playing well, and is really kind of knocking the rust off himself. But he continues to improve and get better week after week, and playing really well. And I guess kind of as the rotation goes, it's hard looking over there in practice, and let alone in a game, and seeing the guys in the gray T-shirt and shorts, because those guys won't be out on the field, and they'd love to be out on the field too.
Right.
So it's
Well, and it's kind of expected. It's football.
Yeah.
It's bound to have injuries. Middle of the season, so we're thankful that pretty healthy overall.
Yeah. I mean, the injuries are starting to be really key, and that's. You're going to have some injuries throughout the season. You hope they're small. You hope they're things that the kids can maybe miss a short amount of time for and battle back in. And we certainly never want a young man to play injured or in no way.
And cause damage later on.
Exactly, because living a healthy life is far more important. But they make a huge commitment to this game, and both in the off season and during the season. Not only a time commitment, but a physical commitment, and they've poured so much into it. They want to play, and it's tough seeing guys over on the sidelines not getting the opportunity to play, but hopefully at least most of them will have an opportunity to come back, and that's what I shared with Cameron. It's not a great thing at all for him, for him to miss the balance of his junior season, but at the same time, it's his junior season. It's not his senior season. And it's something that he's going to come back from stronger and better than ever, and he should be back and ready to go for baseball season and things like that. So, although it's certainly
true.
no
He's
fun.
multi-sport.
Yeah, one of our several multi-sport guys, and although it's no fun for him now, certainly there will be light at the end of that tunnel.
True. All right, so let's talk about this coming Friday night's game. Keeping the schedule this week. As usual,
Right.
Business as usual.
That's the way we like
Lexington
to keep it all
Catholic.
the time. Yeah.
They're not easy.
No, they're a really, really good football team. They should be certainly one of the top teams in 4A. This is the third straight week that we have faced a team ranked in the top 10 in their respective class. So
We know why you do it, but do you sometimes wonder, why am I still doing this? Why are we playing these teams? But you have to.
Yeah, I mean that's the way the schedule fell. I didn't get to pick this one out, but it's tough. Scheduling is tough no matter what level you're at, and especially when you have the opportunity and people know Madison Central has the opportunity year in year out to be a pretty good football team.
Well, and you have to when you're 6A. That's what you got to do.
That's right. Well, you got to schedule who you can get, and But certainly playing good, strong competition early should help you to be a stronger team later. And all of our focus is towards the district and the playoffs and preparing, make sure we're the best team we can be by then, which is why it's so important to get some of these guys injured back. But here comes Catholic, and we're going to head up there on the road. That's going to be a unique thing in itself. We've only played one road game so far, and that was
you played a lot of home games.
A very short road trip. So first true road game of the year coming up. So we
you can't really count. Well, I guess you can count Southern. It was an away game, but you had a lot of fans there. So.
Oh yeah, certainly. And it was just one of those things that it's part of the season. You have to learn how to play on the road as well as at home, and so we'll be packing up to play for the first time on the road up there. The good thing is most of our trips are fairly short. So
yeah, hopefully the fans will come.
Yeah, it should be a great trip. Should be a really good night for football. The weather's starting to be really good, starting to get a little crisp in the air.
Yeah,
Time
football
to
weather.
Put on those hoodies and start making pots of chili and things like that. And that's fall is the best time of the year because of football and all of that. But those little extras kind of make it nice. But Catholic's a really good football team. They got a nice offensive front. They do a good job. They run probably basically the air raid system that is similar to what Kentucky's running. They've always been shotgun and spread and throw the ball a lot, but the system that their new coach Mark Perry has brought in is a lot more similar to the air raid system that Kentucky's running now. With Reese Ryan, their quarterback, he's a D1 recruit. I think a Louisville commit. I'm not positive, but he's got the ability to throw the ball all around, all over the place, and he does a nice job of keeping plays alive with his legs and throwing to receivers downfield. And when you got a guy who can be mobile back there but still disciplined enough to sit in the pocket, it gives those receivers time to get open. It's tough to cover him. You got to get some pressure on him. Yeah. It's tough to cover him for 5-6 seconds at a time without someone getting open. And so we've got to do a really good job of that. Got to do a good job of getting pressure on them and making sure that we're where we're supposed to be defensively.
And back to what you said, I think the weather's going to be good Friday night. I think we checked the forecast. Beautiful. It's supposed to be beautiful. So kudos to that. We got to get the fans there. So they got to.
Bringing a big crowd to Lexington was always a big help. It's a good short trip, go get a bite to eat, and come out to the football game. And when I was here as an assistant, it seemed like we always took great crowds to Lexington. I can remember many times feeling like that we had more fans there than the team that we were visiting did. So hopefully we'll do that again.
And then the following week is homecoming week.
Right.
So that will be a very busy week as far as, you got all the homecoming candidates that are throughout the school, of course, and the parade on Thursday night. But I'm sure as business as usual, just like this week, trying to keep them on a schedule to maintain exactly what they're used to.
Yeah, it's funny that you use that term business as usual, because that's certainly what we'll try to do. And that's kind of my mode of operation in everything is to try to keep it business-like and try to keep it business as usual. There'll be tons of stuff going on around the school, the homecoming voting, and everybody will be fired up. And it's wonderful for the school. It's wonderful for the school community. It's exciting for the school community to have everybody rallied around and excited about homecoming festivities. And we hope that everyone has a good time, but we also know as the football team that it's our homecoming responsibility lies with winning that football game Friday night so everybody can enjoy homecoming and have fun. The homecoming dance and the things that happen surrounding homecoming isn't much fun if the football team gets beat. So we feel like it's pretty. That's our responsibility, is to make sure that we represent the school well and hopefully have an opportunity against a very good, well coached Paul Raines, really good football coach, and he's got Dunbar headed in the right direction. They're going to be a tough opponent for homecoming. So
they're always a long tradition of football.
We've got our hands full, and so Paul's done such a nice job of they were in a real low spot for a while, and that's Coach Raines' specialty is picking up a team and building them back up and doing so quickly, and he certainly seems to be doing that at Dunbar. Of course, I coached for Coach Raines. He actually hired me at Central in 2000. Coached for him for a few years before Coach Turner kept me on staff when he became head coach in 2003. So. We obviously got a history there and a familiar opponent in a way, and so that'll 2 big weeks here coming up for us.
Will that be awkward, or will that be fun for you? Will it be, I know you want to win. You both want to win.
Oh yeah, I mean, and that's that's.
But you kind of know you know his thoughts.
That's the great thing of it. I've got a lot of respect for Coach Raines, and I feel good about that, about going into that game. And coaching. We all know that we've got to win. It's our job.
Mm-hmm.
It's our job to put a team out there and try our best to win the football game. And if you're in this profession long enough and you can't take winning and losing with some of the guys, you won't have very many friends in this profession. And my thing is, as long as you're out there playing good, clean football and coaching in a good, clean way and doing things the right way, people respect what you're doing, and that takes care of itself.
Well, and we have heard throughout the community and through your fans that, that is happening. Your team playing clean, honest, good, friendly football. I mean, tough,
right, but
a nice competition of football.
Well, and that's what we want to build. I mean, football is about so much more than going out there and, I think it's hilarious. I hear people, yelling, hit somebody, kill him, break his leg, something like that. And I'm like, no, that's not what football's about. Yeah. Go out there and play. And nobody loves to see a big hit more than me. And I promise you, our staff gets as jacked up as we can get whenever one of our kids goes out and makes a big hit, makes a big tackle, makes a big block, makes a big run.
To injure
someone. But the intent is not to injure. The intent is to get after somebody physically and play the game as hard and well as you can.
Not malicious.
That's right. I mean, it is a collision. It's not a contact sport. It's a collision sport, and you have to be a tough son of a gun to play it. But that's the beauty of it. I mean, that in itself is the beauty of football, because it gives that opportunity for that good, hard, physical clash of competition. And then come right back and play it the next play. Sometimes you're going to get the better of it. Sometimes the guy across from you is going to get the better of it. But get back up and play the next play and play it in the right way.
Yeah.
And there's an awful lot of lessons that can be learned from that. And I just think that I think the importance of that, the physical aspect of it as well as the mental aspect of it, it's huge. And I know. That's why we keep pushing the character piece so hard, because I know that in a tough time, I know that in a real critical time, character is what's going to show up and win a football game. And kids have to have character to face adversity. Adults have to have character to face adversity. And hopefully we're building good young people. Well,
and after 4 years, some of them may not continue on into playing football.
That's right.
So they have to learn now.
Football ends for everyone at some point, and athletics ends for everyone at some point. And what are you going to hang your hat on when that time comes? For some, it comes quickly. For others, they get to play on and do what some of those guys that we all dream about watching on Sundays do. But sooner or later it's going to end. So what are you going to do after that? Are you going to have an education? Are you going to be a strong community member? Are you going to, we tell our guys, when you guys come back 10 or 15 years from now for your class reunion, and we're out here and we're gathering together, are you a good father? Are you a good husband? Are you taking care of your kids? Are you doing the things that you're supposed to be doing? Then we'll know that we've had a successful football program.
I think their parents appreciate that too.
Well, I hope so.
Yeah. Now we do have one good, fun question for you.
Okay.
Let's go back to the Central Southern game real quick. Did you get to talk to Coach Stoops?
Yeah.
Did you? I know he stood on Southern's side, which was a bummer, but of course we all know he was there.
That's all right. Next year he's going to be on our side.
There you go. That's what we like to hear.
Next year he's going to be on our side to see Will and maybe a few others.
Yeah, he flew in on his helicopter.
Yeah.
I mean, the kids had to love that.
Yeah. Well, I was so impressed with our kids of how they did not let the hoopla before the game get to them.
There was a lot.
And
between
it
Andy
was a
Barr
circus.
doing the coin toss and Stoops flying in.
Yeah, I mean, it really had a circus-like atmosphere, but I was so impressed with our kids because they kept right on about their business, kept right on about stretching and all that stuff, and it was really cool. Nobody was more startled in the place than I was when I turn around and I hear somebody say, "Hey, Coach," and I turn around and I look and it's Coach Stoops.
Yeah.
And so that was we had a real pleasant conversation before the game.
Okay.
Great guy. I feel like from talking with Coach Brown and Coach Schlarman and the Coach Neil Brown, the offense coordinator, John
Yeah,
Schlarman,
he'd been
the
there all
offensive
day,
line
I
coach.
believe, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like from talking with those guys that maybe we'll get to see a little bit more of the UK Blue around our place here as a couple of our kids develop.
That would be fantastic.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. That was, like you said, it was a circus, but for a fan and media, that was quite an event.
Oh yeah, and it needed to be. You know, I mean, I hope that there's that type of atmosphere around all of our Madison Central, Madison Southern games because you know it's great for the community. It's great for football in the community. It's great for both schools, and you know I'm super excited, and I don't know what the feeling is. I feel like that the feeling is mutual with Coach Clark and his staff, but I'm really excited about the game over the next 2-year scheduling cycle being moved to week 10. I think it's a great opportunity for both of us to end the season with rivalry week. I'm so excited about that, and you know now you're really getting into late October. The weather's crisp. It's a great time, and you know I know from my perspective in scheduling, it's always been kind of tough to schedule that week 10 game. And so it's important to have a good one. So, you know, by that time, the district season's over with. You know what seed you're going to be in the playoffs. You know where you're going in the playoffs, whether you know, all of that stuff is out. And you can take that 1 week just to focus on, let's get ready for this rivalry
Football,
game.
right.
And make it a big time moment for these guys and end the regular season on a high note. And then the best part of that is, after you end week 10 on a high note, you put that one to bed and you go to the real season, which is the playoffs.
And keeping all our fingers crossed, when will you know this season if you make the playoffs?
Well, with 6A, with 6A, it's a given with us because we're the 32 top teams as far as school population are in 6A, and so all 32 teams make the playoffs. Okay. And so we're obviously in a 4-team district, and all 4 teams go. So with us, it's a matter of how our record is in district play.
Whether you play at home or not?
That's correct.
That's
Lafayette, Tates Creek, and GRC, and how we shake out there in our 4-team district will determine our seeding. And of course, if we're a 1 or 2 seed, we'll get to be at home, and if we're a 3 or 4 seed, we'll have to go on the road. Our district is paired up against the Northern Kentucky district. Boone County, Simon Kenton, those guys against that district in playoffs this year. So you know our seeding will determine whether we get those guys coming down here or whether we'll be taking the trip up to Northern Kentucky.
All right, sounds fantastic. Anything else before we close out the show?
No, just you know, I appreciate everyone. You know, just being supportive of our kids, and I know that everyone wants to see results immediately, and I assure you no one wants to see results any faster than us and our staff, but you know, understanding that our kids, it is a work in progress, and that we continue to get better week in and week out, and nobody can be disappointed in how our kids are competing. Nobody can be disappointed in how hard our kids are playing, and really I think that our kids are demonstrating good character both on the field and off, and you know, as we continue to get better, then we need that support from everyone. Come out and support our freshman and JV teams. Our freshman team is outstanding. Man, they're 44 strong, and they are an awesome group. They play so hard.
That's on Monday nights, right?
That's on Monday nights. If anyone got to see the Monday night game this past night, or a freshman game, freshman JV, both us against Scott County, it was a great Monday night. Just battled so hard, both teams, and you know, I really feel strongly about this freshman group that we have, that they're a very special group, and if we're able to keep all 40 plus of those together, they're going to be a real cornerstone over the next few years. And our JV guys battled too, so come out and check out some of those Monday night games as well as the Friday night games. Yeah. It's a lot of fun.
I know, to talk to the students, they love coming to those games too, so it's always fun.
Yep.
Coach, thank you so much for joining us. I know we do this on a Wednesday night after his home games, so we won't see you, since you're on the road at Lexington Catholic this Friday night. We won't see you next Wednesday. So our next game and interview will be after Dunbar.
After homecoming.
After homecoming. So we'll know who the king and queen, and coming out with a big W is I think I'm going to keep doing that because you win after I do that. So I'm going to just keep doing it. So.
Get as many as we can.
That's right. Thanks, Coach. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in 2 weeks with Coach Mark Centers. I'm Samantha Burford. Thanks for joining us.
This program is sponsored by Cumberland Valley National Bank and Trust. Visit their new location in Berea. A special thank you to our great sponsors: Jack Burford Chevrolet, State Farm Insurance, Jerry Goble, Luxury Pets, Express Roofing, we've got you covered, Faith Created, Assembly of God Church, ScenicCabin.com, Equipment, Sales and Rentals, give Sean a call, Tatum Enterprises, Richmond Tourism, WKYT.com, Time Warner Cable, Madison County Schools, First Gear, Pro Signs, Berea Online, and Rosenbaum Communications.
Hi, I'm Samantha Burford with Madison County School Sports Television. We want you to watch the head coach John Clark show of Madison Southern Eagles.
If you want to learn about these guys, tune in to Madison County School Sports Television. Let's go.
Hey everyone, my name's Alex, and I want you to watch MadisonCountySchoolSports.com.
Hello everyone, I'm Madison County School Superintendent Elmer Thomas, and I want to thank you for watching Madison County School Sports Television.
Follow Madison County School Sports Television on Twitter, or like us on Facebook, MCS TV, and of course, watch all of our videos on YouTube. Madison County School Sports is proud to have Journey Auto and Boat Sales as the official sponsor of the Madison Central Marching Band on MCS TV.
According to the Centers for Disease Control, the definition of binge drinking is having 5 drinks over the course of 2 hours. When done excessively, this may eventually lead to memory loss, unwanted pregnancy, and sexually transmitted diseases, cancer, excessive vomiting, alcohol poisoning, and possibly death.
Nathan, can you hear me?
If you don't want to swallow any of this, chances are the next tube you put in your mouth won't be a good time. For more information on binge drinking, please visit the Centers for Disease Control website at www.cdc.gov.
The following is in smokeless tobacco: cadmium, formaldehyde, lead, nicotine, nitrosamines, polonium-210, hydrazine, benzopyrene, and uranium-235. Don't be a dip. Don't dip.